Congratulations friends, welcome back to my channel. This is a quick little video. I'm going to just talk briefly about what might happen with my channel in the next few weeks. Not a big deal, but I just kind of wanted to throw it out there. If you guys don't know, I live on the east coast of Florida, and I'm not sure if the entire country or if you guys internationally know, but we're expecting a pretty big hurricane coming. Currently, it's considered to be the strongest hurricane on record, stronger than Harvey, stronger than Katrina, stronger than Hurricane Andrew. So that's kind of daunting, and specifically a few days ago, we didn't think we were going to get hit with anything more than a tropical storm. So, or like 3 or 4 days ago. So considering it looks like obviously it's going to be making landfall, my channel is going to be affected by this. I wanted to just kind of let you guys know what this means. Now, I'm prepared. I'm 33. I've lived on the east coast of Florida my entire life, so I've been dealing with, as long as I can remember, hurricanes. I know what hurricanes mean. Even though I've dealt with them over and over and over again, I don't take them lightly. I respect their devastation. You know, it's kind of like when you see a wild, an animal in the wild, like a big cat or like a bear or something. Like, it's beautiful and majestic and amazing, but you know that it can hurt you. Keep your distance and be respectful. I'm not saying to keep your distance from a hurricane, you really don't have a choice, but I'm respectful of how catastrophic these hurricanes can be. Some people in the state, specifically in Florida, we throw hurricane parties and people prepare the last minute. I'm one of the people that prepares first. That's a kitty. We've got water, we've got gas, we're starting to board up our windows. Half of the windows that we have in our house are impact. The past few months have been cutting back all the trees. All the trees that look like if branches were to fall would be problematic or dangerous. So we are always constantly preparing and keeping a watchful eye on storms and the weather. But there are a few things that will probably specifically, when this storm hits, affect my channel. Now, I'm not expecting, even though it seems to be a crazy strong storm, I'm really not expecting a lot of property damage. Maybe a branch or two will fall on a car. Maybe we'll have some damage, you know, a few $1,000s worth of damage. I'm saying that like it's nothing, but you know, that's what insurance is for. It'll be a hassle and problematic and horrible, but I'm not expecting so much devastation. This house was built over 100 years ago. It's withstanded all the other storms, and we've been constantly upgrading it and fortifying it. So I'm not too worried about like losing my roof or things like that. I'm more worried about water damage or if a tree falls on the house, because we have a lot of big beautiful trees in the yard. But again, those have been standing for so long. I think that we might be okay. I'm hoping, praying that they're going to be okay. The biggest problem though when it comes to our area with big storms like this is actually the loss of power, the inconvenience of finding clean water, and the loss of internet. And that might seem like, oh, you're losing your internet. It's not a big deal internet-wise. It kind of gets boring, but I have a lot of books and art projects and things like that. The loss of power is a big deal, especially when you get you're in the middle of summer and it's really hot. I get very sick. If I'm hot, I get nauseous, I get headaches, I throw up. Like, I physically am incapacitated when it's hot. I don't know why. So usually when we're out of power for a few weeks, I get very ill. I might be okay. You might be okay. I have fans, like little handheld, like little, you know, old fans. I have one over here. Where are you? I can't find it. Oh, no. I don't know where I put it. Oh, here it is. There it is. I'm like going through all my stuff to plan everything. I got like 5 of these in every room, because if I even get like a little bit hot, I get really sick. So that's my concern. I don't want to get sick in that way. And the other concern is my cats. Like, we have as you guys know, I kind of talk about the property I live on. The property I live on is like just under an acre in Fort Lauderdale. There's 2.5 houses on the property. There's a guest house and also my husband's like work area. It's where we have our CNC router and a lot of our equipment. And then my mother-in-law has her own house, and we live in her other house. This is her house. And then we live in another house. So cat-wise, in my house, when I say my house, it's all my mother-in-law's houses, but in my house we have 5. We have Pancakes, we have Gigi, we have Muta, we have Ariana, and we have the kitten. And at the guest house, my mother-in-law rescued a cat of a friend of hers who couldn't keep it, Cosmo, who doesn't like people at all, like not at all, hides and cowers and hisses when you try to bring her food. So she's there, so that's 6. And then at my mother-in-law's house, we have Sisal, Smokey, Topper, Holly, and Herme. So we have 11 cats on the property. Now, Holly, Herme, Topper, and Smokey are indoor-outdoor cats. So at night they're indoors, during the day they're outdoors. So obviously they're going to be inside. But the problem is when you have that many animals, they get scared. It's, you know, if there's no clean water, you run out of pet food really quickly. It is a big pain in the butt. Also with evacuation, it's a big pain in the butt. Because John and I, if we only had 2 or 3 cats, we could shove them in carriers and go. We don't have enough carriers for all the cats. So we would have to go running by carriers tomorrow if we had to evacuate. And we wouldn't leave our cats here. I'm not sitting here saying we wouldn't abandon our pets. I feel like pets are a responsibility. We would board them or we would take them with us and, you know, incur the cost of taking them with us. The problem is that there's 11 of them. So it's this constant like anxiety of what do we do? My fear, this is my fear, is that one of the windows will get blown out and for some reason the cats will get freaked out and run outside and die. That's what I'm worried about. That's my biggest fear actually when it comes down to the storm, is something like that happening with our pets. Because I know that we can handle it money-wise, insurance-wise, you know, with property, it would be devastating if anything happened, but we would be okay. But, you know, you can't really, you can't really replace pets. And we love all of our little furry friends very dearly. They're very dear to us. So that's my big concern. But getting back on track, I know I said this is going to be a short video. It's going to be a little bit long. I'm talking. I'm kind of venting. I've been working a lot. What it means for this channel. Now, you guys know I take pride in putting out content every Monday through Friday and sometimes on the weekends as well. I get so used to saying that. I say it so frequently. And I want to be able to do that through this storm. And I know it sounds kind of silly, but it is something that I want to do. It's kind of keeping me grounded. It might sound very strange, but when the world is going this way, that way, this way, that way, this way, that way. Oh yeah, my parents evacuate, we're taking her cats. We'll have 12 cats until the storm is over. So that's something else, which I don't mind doing. I love my fuzzy brother. He is a doll baby, and I don't want my parents to be in any bad way. So anyway, when it comes down to my channel, sometimes with hurricanes that you can be without power for weeks. I think the longest we were out power was back in like 2005 or 2006. I think it was Hurricane Francis. So the Francis or Wilma, I don't remember, but we were at power for like 5 to 6 weeks. That's a long time. That's not including being without internet. That's not including the water. It just was a nightmare. So for me, worrying about that, worrying about what would happen to my channel, would I lose a lot of subscribers, would people leave, like, I'm kind of worried about that because this channel kind of keeps me a little bit grounded. You guys are kind of my my window into the world because I am a homebody. I stay home a lot because of my work and things like that, and just because I'm an introvert in some weird ways, but when I look at a camera I just can't shut up. So if I'm out with power without 6 weeks, that'll be 6 weeks I won't be able to film any videos. I can't pre-film 6 weeks worth of videos. I mean, I can pre-film 6 weeks worth of videos, but by the 3rd week, all my pre-film videos, I'd probably be going crazy. But I can pre-film like 2 to 3 weeks with videos. So that's kind of like what I'm talking about on my channel is I'm gonna pre-film, I've already started doing it, probably about 3 weeks of videos. And schedule them so they come out on time. So I will have content for you guys. It's not going to be crazy content. It's not going to be some of the content I've been working on and some of the content I was really excited to bring you guys. But I do want to be able to have reviews for you, recommendations for you I've been working on, and some other cool things too I've been working on as well. So there's, you know, you're gonna see the same outfits, the same makeup, and, you know, I might start bumbling a few videos, but please be patient with me. The second I am able to upload, I will have new content for you, I promise. But I don't know how long that's going to be. I don't know if that's going to be a week, 3 days. We might not be without power for more than a week. Or it could very well be a month or a month and a half or even 2 months, depending on the devastation of the storm. That is not uncommon. And if it's 2 months, that means that as soon as we go back, my husband and I are going to be missing 2 months worth of money, which means seasoned, we're going to be going full force, and it's just going to be this is not what we need right before season. Our season is October, November, December. So September is usually our downtime, get everything ready, and now we have to deal with the storm, and oh my gosh, we are just not happy about this. Not happy at all, but it is what it is, you know? Like, we can't change the weather, and we are in a lot better places than other people. So at the same time, I'm not too worried about it. I am worried about it, but I know that once it's over and we got our power back and everything's fine, we'll be like, oh, that was horrible, but you know. So what it means is pre-filming videos, and then once those pre-filmed videos are over, hopefully we'll have our power back by then. If we get our power back like immediately and I have 2 or 3 weeks, I'll shelve those videos and keep them for the height of season, so I have a video if I'm unable to film something because we're so busy. So I'll have them on standby, and I'll have the content I really wanted to put out for you guys. What also that means is I try to respond to comments as much as possible. If I can respond with a thank you, you know, especially if you guys are entering contests, I say you're entered. I'm doing that so you guys like know that I see you, I know you're there, thank you guys so much. I don't have a big channel, I don't have crazy amount of content and comments, so I kind of always want to be able to keep up with you guys and talk with you, because that's what I love most about my channel is interaction, you know, communicating with you guys communicating with me. I love the interactions, and I really love that. That's one of my favorite things. But for this time when I'm out of power and I'm out of Wi-Fi, because it will go down, it's just what happens, I will be unable to comment. I don't know if my phone will get anything. And the truth of the matter is my phone will be used for emergencies only. So I won't be going, I might go on Instagram, I might, you know, be like, hey, everything's fine. But for the most part, I'm probably going to be AWOL or MIA until at least power is back, or power and internet. So if I'm not commenting on things, it's not that I've forgotten you, it's not that I'm neglecting my channel, it's just I will be unable to do that. Now, I know I have two giveaways coming up on my channel and 5 giveaways on my Instagram. If you're interested in that, check out my Instagram. Those giveaway deadlines are still set. It's still the 14th of September for both of those, but I will announce the winner when I get back. So if it's a month and a half, guys, I will announce the winners of the giveaway when I get back, but the giveaways will be closed on the 14th. So that's what I said, that's the giveaway time. So I'm just letting you guys know that if you're interested in that, if you've entered any of those giveaways, the deadline's the 14th, but I will announce the winners when I get back. Again, hopefully worst case scenario, it's going to be a month and a half, maybe 2 months in the absolute worst case scenario, unless we get extreme water damage or extreme property damage. But for the most part, I think it'll probably be 2 to 3 weeks. So that's why I'm filming that many videos. I'm kind of hoping I can make it work. But anyway, I'm just kind of wanted to film this video. It's kind of sit down chit chat video. I had another chit chat video today. I figured 2 chit chat videos in one day. Whatever, let you guys know what's going on. I did kind of want to let you know. Currently, it looks like with Irma, here's this other thing. I kind of wanted to, like with hurricanes, even if the hurricane, okay, we're calling it like Armageddon. It's what I've heard a few people call it, and I've just kind of like been using that term. With hurricanes, Hurricane Andrew and Harvey and Katrina were devastating storms. The amount of property damage, this displacement they caused for the people, the lives lost, huge catastrophes, tragedies, but even smaller storms, even storms that are Cat 1 or tropical storms. The thing with hurricanes is that it takes a lot of preparedness before and after, and you lose work, you're out of school, and some companies don't really know how hurricanes work unless you've lived in them your entire life. So this is a little story time video. This might be a little fun thing for you guys to kind of break us up. I know this video is long, but it's not a fragrance video, so if you didn't want to sit through it, I don't feel like I'm taking away from your content. But when it comes to hurricanes, when you hear about preparedness, there is a set amount of resources that we have in this area. There's a set amount of bottles of water, there's a set amount of food, and there's a set amount of gasoline, and that's the most important one. Water, if you can boil your water, if you have sternos, if you have ways to purify your water, like Brita things, you can get around with water. What I do is we only got 4 cases of water, and my mother-in-law has 2. So there's like 1 case per person, and then you just, drink when you're thirsty, but don't like completely drink until we get our water back. Water's one of the first things that actually comes back, or if you can boil water, it's not a big deal. We have a bunch of other places we can put water to drink, like pitchers and things like that, so I'm not too worried about water. Food, I just get snacks, I get chips, and I get like Pop-Tarts. I don't even try to get canned food. I try to get food that won't create any dishes, because if you create dishes, you have to clean those dishes, and if you're unable to clean those dishes, then you might get mold, then you might get bugs. So I try to get food that doesn't require any dishes. That's usually what I do. So I eat like crap, so my face is going to be super puffy. Even if I'm losing weight, I'm going to be eating high salt, like carb foods. My face is going to be puffy when I get back. I'm going to look ridiculous. But anyway, the biggest thing is the gasoline. Now we have a Prius, my mother-in-law has a Prius, and the only jobs that we have, we finished today. We closed our shops. We said we're going on vacation because of the hurricane, because we want to be able to fulfill orders since we work at home. If our power goes out, we can't fulfill orders. So our store is closed. We shipped out all of the orders. Everything is fulfilled. Unless it's an emergency, we don't have to drive anywhere. But before, when I used to manage the tea shop, when I was opening the other store, because I opened the store in Aventura when they had a store in Aventura. But when I worked in Boca, I lived in Parkland, which was about 10-15 miles from where I lived. I forget exactly. It was like a 45-minute drive. And it was way out west, which we had power because all of their power lines are buried underneath the ground. So you weren't running out of powder, but your water was crap. There was flooding. And at the same time, like, you were super far away from any real job. Because it was like right when they were developing it. So I got gas and I filled up my tank, and it would take me, I could get to and from work half a week on a tank of gas. So I knew that, and I worked in the mall, and it was a corporate store. So they had, when the mall's open, you're supposed to be open, is the mentality. So before hurricanes, people generally prepare. People, they eat through all their perishable foods, or they freeze it all. So you have you're eating really big. I've been drinking so much milk, you guys. I am so sick of milk. Because we had a lot of milk, because my husband and I were going to be doing a lot of baking. And I just been drinking, that's another story. Too much milk. No, thank you. But people don't go shopping for luxuries or extras like a few days before the storm. So you have my manager at the time, who I had trained her, and then I was going to open my own store. But until I was at that store, she was still my boss. And she was, she's a ridiculously intelligent woman. She spoke 8 languages. When I'm talking about her in this sense, I'm talking about her inexperience with hurricanes and understanding how it works. And my bosses lived in Atlanta, and this was one of their first stores in Florida. So they don't have any experience with hurricanes, because they had only opened the shop 2 or 3 years prior, and there weren't any major storms during that time like the one that was coming. I believe this was Wilma. So for for 3 or 4 days, nobody was in the mall. We had I'm gonna throw this out there, it's not the right word. Our goals for the day were, say, like $5,000, $15,000 on the weekends, and we were doing maybe not even breaking 3 digits. Like maybe if we were lucky on a busy day, we did like $400. And they were calling and they're like, what are you guys doing? Why aren't you meeting your goals? And I'm like, because she opened and I closed, so I would be there at night, and I was like, look, you know, it's hurricane. They're like, but you should still be selling. I'm like, I don't think you understand. There is nobody in this mall. Other smaller stores are closing so that their employees can prepare for the storm. You have no idea what a hurricane is. My manager lived in an apartment, so she didn't have to do much. So anyway, storm hits. I get gas. And then if the mall's closed for like a week, I had to drive to see my parents because something was up. I didn't have any food or something. I drove to see my parents. I drove someplace else, and I drove back, and I had like a half a tank of gas, and gas was just starting to come back, but it was selling out really quickly. And anytime it was available were times that you had to wait in line for, like, I think the longest I waited in a line once for gas during this time was 3 hours, and they ran out of gas like 5 people in front of me. So there's like no gas, there's no resources. So my manager calls me. She lived like a block away from the store. She could walk there. She's like, oh, the mall is opening. I need you to come in. We're working on the schedule now. When, I have you on for this day, this day, this day, this day, this day. And I'm like, I can't commit. And she's like, excuse me? And I'm like, I physically cannot come in. I don't even have enough gas to make it to the store. I don't. And she's like, can you take a taxi or a cab? I'm like, I'm not taking a taxi and a cab. I'm not going to make enough money to cover the cost of a taxi or a cab because it's really expensive. I'm like, there's no way I'm going. If the business wants to cover my cab fare, absolutely. She's like, we're not going to do that. We don't cover your gas. And I'm like, I can't physically make it. So she was kind of angry, and she called the boss, and they called me, and they're like, Kristin, you're supposed to be into work. The mall's open. We need you there to sell. And I'm like, I don't think you guys understand. I have absolutely no gas in my car. And they're like, well, go get gas. And I'm like, there is physically no gas. Last time I waited in line 3 hours. 3 hours in my car in the heat because I couldn't turn on the air because I had no gas. And that wasted so much gas just waiting to get there. I'm like, I can't get there. And so there's this back and forth, and they finally kind of conceded that it was a crappy situation. They're like, don't let this happen again. And I was like, are you serious? Like, really? So then, like 2 weeks later, when we could get gas, because it literally took 2 weeks, because you'd only get like a tank, like a big tanker, and then like people would be waiting like an hour before the gas station opened. And it was a nightmare. So finally, when I got back after they said, my manager kind of took me in the back, and she's like, look, I understand it's a crappy situation, but I worked really hard. I was working open to close. This is really hard on me. She's like, I can't do this. And I was like, I'm really sorry, but there is nothing I can do. If you wanted to come pick me up and drop me off because you can get gas easier, that's fine. If you wanted to bring me a gas tank, if you wanted to pay for for anything, but I'm like, I live this far, and it's silly. It was so stupid. Anyway, that's my little ranty hurricane story time. Oh my gosh. And there are so many. I have so many other stories in regards to hurricanes. So many. But I kind of don't want to make too many jokes of it or make too light of it, because even though like I can laugh and be like, haha, this is so bad, like it's still like I still had a house to go to. I still had a car. And even though my boss and my boss's bosses were being ridiculous and completely stepping out of line and requiring me to drive 15 miles, I couldn't even walk there if I wanted to. I still had a job at the end of it. And there's some people who don't have jobs at the end of it because their bosses just don't care, and there's people who are going to lose everything. There's people who are going to lose family members. There's people who are going to be displaced. There's a lot of devastation behind this. So anyway, this is my kind of little ranty video. I'm really sorry that it's kind of ranty, but I did kind of want to let you guys know about what's happening with my channel. Again, I'm going to have pre-filmed stuff. I won't be able to communicate or interact as much. I'm going to do my best. I don't know if I'm going to be able to check in to let you guys know that I'm safe, but if I do check in, you guys, I'm going to check in on Instagram and I'm going to check in on Twitter. So if you guys want to know if I'm okay, like, I'll let you guys know on Twitter or Instagram. But again, the storm is not really scheduled to hit until like Saturday, Sunday. And the thing with storms are, with hurricanes specifically, is that you see all these projections, you see those spaghetti maps or whatever, but the truth of the matter is with hurricanes, until you're 12 to 24 hours away from the storm, anything can happen. I have seen, like Matthew last year, we were supposed to get hit hard. We were supposed to get hit, it was supposed to be devastating. We were not as much as this because it was in category 5. I think it was like a category 3 or 4, and it completely missed us. It kind of went, here's us, here's the outer like little spindly things, and like here's the eye, and it just kind of went whoop, and we just got a tiny bit of rain and nothing, and then everybody else up north got devastated. So, or it could go completely in the Gulf, and if it goes in the Gulf, the warm weathers of the Gulf are going to turn this into something even more terrifying than it already is. So as much as I don't want to get hit, I kind of want us to get hit, because if it goes any place else, Florida, when it comes to building and Florida code, it's built to code for hurricanes. So when you see a lot of this devastation, when you see a lot of these homes that are getting destroyed in Florida and from Andrew, you're seeing a lot of homes that were built, they're in lower income communities, which makes it even more heartbreaking when you see that devastation, because they already didn't have much, they have nothing, or it's like mobile homes or things like that. But generally our infrastructure is built for hurricanes. So although a direct hit from us would be catastrophic, there will be loss of life. It's just, unfortunately, it's what happens, and I hope everybody takes precautions and is safe. I would much rather us get hit because we are a little bit more prepared and a little bit stronger to take it than it going, say, in the Gulf, getting stronger, and hitting those states or those cities or that area again, because those people, they don't have the infrastructure for storms the way that we do, and I feel like it would be a lot worse if it hit there. So as much as I don't want to get hit with a storm at all, I kind of, to minimize the devastation, to minimize the displacement, to minimize the loss of life, I kind of hope it would hit us. So anyway, I'll probably be taking those words back, because it probably is going to hit us. We're due for it. It's been a very long time since we've gotten a decent storm. But I just kind of wanted to let you guys know, film this video. It's a long video, I'm really sorry, but let you guys know that. Again, I'm going to have videos up. I'm going to be able to interact with you guys at least until Sunday. So if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to let me know. If you guys have any questions in regards at all to what you can do to help, I mean, I know people still need help with Hurricane Harvey. I'm still worried about those people. If you guys want to know, if you have family in the area, if you want to let me know where they live, I could kind of look into it and let you know what I think, like what they should do if they're new to the area. If you guys live in Florida and you just moved here and you guys want tips and advice for hurricanes, I'll definitely be able to help you out there. So yeah, that's this video. It's a little story time, ranting, kind of letting you guys know about Irma. And yeah, I will let you guys go. Thank you for watching. And I will have more videos this week that are fragrance related in the next few weeks too. So I will see you guys later.